Okay, firstly, I would like to thank Pierre and Carlos for giving me the opportunity to present to you what we try to do in Horizon 2020. I will try, my aim and my expectations are limited. I would like to just give you a flavor of what has changed in the new funding project, research funding program, and what we intend to do in the very short term. So my expectations are, if your takeaways are 3 or 4 messages, I will be happy with that. And I will try to stick to the request of Pierre to be very, very short and precise. So the context has been explained before. We are basically implementing the Opening Up Education Strategy, Communication Initiative. And our goal basically in our unit is ensuring connectivity. The goal for Commissioner Cruz, in addition to what has mentioned, is to connect all schools by 2020. So her ambition and aim is to ensure connectivity by all schools and ideally all classrooms by 2020. So we want to build education infrastructure and that this is deployed in Europe. We want to ensure that there's stakeholder engagement in achieving our aims, and this requires the involvement of many grassroots initiatives. In this context, I would like to mention that for the first time, there's a policy initiative in the Commission that has money behind it. Well, it's a bit hidden. Hidden in the sense that in order to develop many education projects, programs in your member states, I think you could all know that the structural funds that the EU gives member states can be used in this area. So all your regional bodies in education can make use of the funds to upgrade infrastructure, to skill teachers, etc., etc. So there's money for this initiative. So that would be our first key takeaway. In the research of innovation, many of the usual suspects are present in the floor here. So they know that we've been funding projects for many years in the area of technology enhanced learning. And for the first time, we have funded some projects which are more on the innovation side, on the deployment side on MOOCs. So we have 2. One's called ECHO, which is led by the University UNED in Spain, and the other one is called EMA, which intends from a grassroots initiative, a bottom-up approach, to develop what could be a European platform for MOOCs. So this has been starting very recently, a month ago. So we'll see what the results come out. So H2020, this is where most of you like the Commission for. We've got the money that you can use. So I would like to say a couple of things. The approach has changed on H2020 compared to what was before in FP7. So now it's one single program encompassing the previous 3 programs that we had before: FP7, CIP, Competitiveness and Innovation Program, all the research funding that was undertaken by the European institutes are merged into one single program. There's a great emphasis on innovation. This is a systemic shift from the Commission in what they want to do with the research money. We want to really narrow research to the market. We want to ensure that SMEs are part of the game. We want to encourage disruptive innovation. We're not going to be only lip service. We're going to use investors in our evaluation. We're going to use business people in the evaluation process, and they're going to look for the innovation component in your proposals. Okay? The idea is also that we focus on the societal challenge of the EU, which are many: health, aging, clean energy and transport. And another, we've tried to address a comment from stakeholders, is that we've tried to simplify substantially the paperwork and the administration to submit a proposal and then thereafter run the project. This is our aim. I have to acknowledge that it's all our regular aims every time we change a program. See if within 7 years, I do not have to make the same slide. So again, a flavor on H2020. What's new? Basically 3 aspects. We have 3 instruments now. One is research and innovation actions, which is focusing mainly on producing or activities producing new knowledge, okay, with technology. These actions will be funded at 100%. Okay, so research and innovation actions, 100%. Then we will have the innovation actions, which are more focused on producing plans, arrangements, testing, piloting, deployment, etc., etc. Okay? These actions will be funded at 70%. These actions are more to test things to the market. Okay? 70% funding rate, except for not-for-profit institutions, which will have also the 100%. And then the CSAs, which I think that remains the same, okay, and refunded at 100%. So that's from the general perspective on H2020. So my unit, what we're going to do in the next months, it's a call on gamification and advanced serious games technologies. The call closes in April, the 17th of April. So I'm going to just give you the flavor of what we're really looking for and the rationale behind it. We're all astonished when we see the success of video games and how quickly they recoup their investments. Within 3 days, their 1 billion development costs are recouped. So they've got something magic, but we would like to translate to the serious games, to the non-leisure games industry. So basically it's how we can take what they do very well and try to apply it into the serious games market in general, okay? And then gamification is becoming a part of learning. So the Horizon 2013 already highlighted that gamification will become on a mainstream within the learning disciplines very shortly. Okay, so just going now a bit more quickly. What we want is research on video games technologies and components to be applied in non-leisure contexts, okay? This can be engines, whatever technologies you would like to mention, storytelling, graphic design, etc. How can that be then reused by serious games companies? So all the components or all the research should be deployed and made available in a repository for third parties, so that game developers or teachers, you name it, can reuse your research and reuse it to develop games. Of course, this has to be applied always in the learning and skills acquisition in any context of learning, but it's crucial that the learning and skills processes are respected. That was a research and innovation action. Then another action we're going to focus on is in the trying to stimulate this innovation action, though this is 70% of funding, it's a different approach, is to stimulate technology transfer and stimulate the new non-leisure applications by SMEs, working in particular on digital games. So here the focus is on SMEs that are working on digital games, see how they can move towards development of serious games. Okay, how are we going to do that? It's normally, as usual, coordinate and incubate small-scale experiments. Okay, so basically, we want market developments and then show whether the testing and deployment provide some scientific evidence that serious games are successful in specific scenarios. So that's for the gamification. 17th of April, industry is important to be present in the consortia. Do not forget the innovation aspects. What I'm talk now is more the traditional that all of you are used to in all the TEL projects and what we've done for many years. The call will open in September. So I'm giving you more time. We are giving you plenty of time to prepare your projects. This is for September. I don't know the date yet, so I don't know when it will close. Here, so I can sorry, for the previous, for gamification, there are 17 million available for funding. In this area, which are technologies for better human learning and teaching, the amount of money is 52 million, okay, for next 2014, 2015. The areas are regular ones that we've been doing for plenty of years. Is again multidisciplinary research for adaptive and personalized learning and assessment. We would like to fund a technology platform for digital learning. The idea is that it's industry-led with the objective to provide a industry-led roadmap in collaboration with academia, but is the industry tells us, okay, this is the research roadmap for the future. There are many aspects that it could be involved, innovation, interoperability, deployment, etc., etc. So this is the rationale behind this technology platform. Again, we will try to build on what we said before, on the innovation aspects. We would like to target large-scale pilots in real settings. So let's deploy new tools, new services, solutions, real settings, students, schools, you name it, and see what happens. I have to say that the amount of proposals that we see in your research projects, so in the previous one, on the multidisciplinary, compared to the amount of projects submitted in large-scale pilots, is huge. So all of you, all the academics, are always focusing on the multidisciplinary research and adaptive learning, etc., etc. The competition there is huge, as you know, which is not the case, or is smaller in the area of piloting. Then maybe it's food for thought for you that you might reconsider or look for alternative projects. But it was a bit striking to see that the oversubscription in the pure research was huge, and in the piloting, very narrow. And then we are trying to do, finally, we're trying to, as a PPI, it's a public procurement initiative, where basically we are targeting public bodies from different member states to come up with a common need, common solution that they need. They get together, and the Commission will provide support for the testing, development, of piloting of that solution. So that is for what I call H2020 light, industrial technologies, innovation, etc., etc. All of you were looking normally for us in what's called the societal challenges. So just also a flavor. In another context, we are also going to fund a platform for ICT learning and inclusion. Okay, this is trying to engage the different stakeholders to raise awareness on the importance of ICT for learning and inclusion. So this is a link about learning and inclusion both. Okay, this is this is also for the 17th of April, and it's a societal challenges call. Okay, it's not light. Okay. There's 1 million for this, and supported 100%. So far, I think we have some money to spend. And then, preempting and knowing how tough Pierre was with the questions already with previous speakers, I would like to preempt one of his questions, and that is, I do not know what will happen with Switzerland in the H2020, given the results of last Sunday. So we leave that for the political masters to decide. Okay? So I'm happy to take any general questions. If there's any specific wording or encrypted language that the Commission has in its work program that you don't understand, I'm happy to alleviate your or enlighten you in bilaterally after this talk. Thank you very much.